Daddy. Well, voters in Birmingham go to the polls in less than 3 weeks, and one of the seats they'll decide on is that of the mayor. And the man Mayor Randall Woodfin beat in 2017, that election, wants his job back. Joining us this morning is former Mayor William Bell. Good morning. It's good to see you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy to be here.
You were Birmingham's mayor. If you want to round up, about a decade. You've also served on the city council in Birmingham, the Jefferson County Commission. That dates back to the late 70s. Why do you want to get back into this?
Well, there are several factors out here that caused me to get back in this race. Several years ago, when I went to Sochi, Russia, to negotiate and sign the agreement to bring the World Games here, part of the reason why the committee selected Birmingham was that safety and security. International terrorism was still a threat. Many of the other countries who were vying to bring the World Games here had some issues with security. And as I see preparations being made for the World Games, there's going to be a problem with the city of Birmingham and its high rate of violent crime. We can't have citizens come here from around the world to a city that's racked with homicides happening just about each and every day. During my term as mayor, we had the lowest rate of violent crime of all the past 5 mayors in the city of Birmingham. We can do that again, but at the current rate where we're going now, many of the contestants, many of the people who would come here for the World Games are going to be very concerned about our crime rate. And I think I have the skills and the talents and the know-how to be able to reduce crime so that we can have those individuals that come here have a pleasant experience. But more importantly, to have the citizens of Birmingham safe and sound. We can do that. Also, I'm concerned about the communities. Investments have not been made in the communities. 4 years ago, the current administration made a promise that they were going to put people first. They have not put people first. You drive through some of our communities and they look like war zones. And we can do better than that. And that's why I'm in this race.
When you talk about crime, give us an example of something you think needs to be done that you haven't seen in the past 4 years, as this perception of crime, that it's on the increase when we see these high-profile murders of children.
First of all, we've got to make investments in our social structure. During my term in office, we made investments in a lot of different organizations that were out in the community, out in the streets, relieving stress and tension, giving people coping skills, treating ex-offenders with dignity and giving them jobs. We had a program called Ban the Box, where if someone has served their time, they could come back into society, get a job with the city of Birmingham and other places, and then earn a decent living for themselves. But all of those funding have been put by the wayside by the current administration. We've got to reinvest in our community. That's the only way we're going to be able to prevent crime. And the other thing, you have a lot of the current administration supporters talking about defund the police. We can't defund the police. What we need to do is find additional resources to put in those areas to relieve the stress and strain on the work that our police officers do in the community.
Mr. Bell, your opponent, Mayor Randall Woodfin, one of your opponents, was on our show Tuesday. He said the biggest challenge for Birmingham is neighborhood revitalization. Listen to how he put it, and I want you to respond on the other side.
The city of Birmingham, when I walked into City Hall, had close to 40 years of underinvestments and disinvestments. And it takes a while to remove all the blight in the city of Birmingham.
Right, you were part of that city council and mayor in that time frame he's talking about. Do you agree with that? Missed investments and underinvestment?
What was the last word that he said? He said, it takes time. When we came into office in 2010, the city had a $78 million deficit that we had to make up to build our reserves. We put in place an aggressive program to bring businesses back to the city so that we can increase the revenue coming to the city to then make the investments into our cities. In 2011, we put forward a bond issue that the current mayor opposed. He did not support that bond issue. And it's the very same bond issue that now we have monies to put into our communities to pave roads and to build sidewalks. So he's talking out of both sides of his mouth when it comes down to that. We were prepared to go into those communities. He's had 4 years. He has not done it. Now he's saying, well, give me more time. But back 4 years ago, he said, we've had enough time.
Yep, they gave him 4 years. Mr. Bell, it's always great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you again soon. And CBS 42 has reached out to all of the 8 mayoral candidates We'll hopefully have them on here with you so you can meet them in the next few weeks. We'll be right back here on the CBS 42 Morning News.